Hi guys, the Iridiates. Look how many I've got. I've got Jam, I've got Mark Clower, and I've got Dom. How you doing, guys?
Yes, thank you. Good to see everyone.
Excellent. Nice to see everyone.
What an international band of misfits this is.
Yeah, easier, obviously. Looking at the birds out of the window. Got a window there. Let's have a look. What's going on?
We need O'Sullivan here to add some class to the situation.
yeah, definitely. So this is like a one-off show, if you like. Where I think did you come up with this one?
I mentioned it, yeah.
So Jam's come up with this idea that maybe our favourite long, what you call them, epic songs, and then we thought about a couple of only one rule really, the length of the song, because that, well, I don't know if you guys have noticed, a lot of songs that I wanted have just come under the length that we chose. So the length is 9 minutes plus. We have got all that rule. We have got that rule in, haven't we? Everyone's got that same.
How did you come up with 9 minutes?
Well, we said 10-minute songs, but it's in its
10.
10th minute. It's in its 10th minute, so there you go.
Yeah, that's true. It's in its. The thing is, it's like almost, it's like a film these days, isn't it? You can't go see a film that's under. If you see a film that's under 2 minutes long, it's like a short film there, isn't it? That's how it works now.
Unfortunately.
So you know, like 10 minutes, like 9+ minutes is nothing, is it now? In songs, there's a lot of bands that bring out a lot of long songs now. So
yeah, I'm just curious. 9.
It is a bit of a weird number, but it, like James,
I could work around it. I just was curious.
I just want to say before we start and go around the room, that's all we're going to do. This, I haven't got any order of my favorite or anything like that. I've just chosen 5. I've tried to. I was speaking to the guys, Don, before you came on, saying that I tried to veer away from ones that people I think might have had, so I didn't have to. And I found it a load of songs just under 9 minutes that I really, really loved.
You should have picked 8. You should have picked 8 minutes.
Mark, I've got to grass him up. He said he was going to choose one that was just under 9, just to see if he could get away with it.
8 minutes and 53 seconds.
Mark, I'm
No,
old.
I didn't. I told him to actually do it, and then I said, "Will you actually probably get caught out? Some arsehole will tell you it's not 9 minutes." Anyway, if you're all right with you, I'll go around where I can see you on the screen. It probably doesn't make any sense to you, but I'll go with Dom first, and then I'll go Jam, and then Mark, if that's all right.
Last one to log in as usual. First one to take the thing. All right.
We're going to go with 5. Round the houses of 5. We'll go with 5. We'll do
round the houses at 5. Yeah, these aren't in any order. I actually was going to do order of year. I just thought, fuck it, I'll just go all around. So who cares? Number 1, I will pick from the seminal album Lightning to the Nations from 1980. This is Diamond Head, and the track is called Sucking My Love. Now you may think that has, well, does have a double entendre, but I think it's more about a vampire than oral sex, but you know, it could work either way. Diamond Head, we all know, we're one of those bands that the myth of the band is more than any records they ever sold.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they just never got a foothold. And a lot of bad decisions management wise and record companies, and just, you know, one of those terrible stories. But the right people heard Diamond Head, so you always read about him in Kerrang. You always, this mythical, you know, band. Then obviously we won't mention the bands, especially one band that kind of took a lot of their material and just made covers of them. But anyway, this is at the time, a lot of the press were saying they were like the Led Zeppelin of new album, if you will. You know, they kind of had more going on, blues your licks sometimes and stuff, but so with that new album sound. So obviously this one being over 9 minutes kind of does have that Zeppelin thing going on, lots of jamming in the middle, and but just a great tune. I love Sean Harris's voice, always have. And it's just it's a terrific song. So Lightning to the Nations, if you don't have it, man, get a hold of that record, 1980.
Cool. I must admit, someone suggested a song from Diamond Head, which wasn't long ago. I don't know when their last album came out. and it was fucking brilliant.
3 years ago, I think, was the last one.
The song I
Alright.
reacted to was excellent. So you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
obviously making good music now, or the last time they made good music.
They have,
anyway, so-
absolutely. I agree. Yeah.
I mean, the link there you said with the band that we don't want to talk about, I'm actually going to mention
Metallica, yeah.
That's one of the bands that a lot of their songs are 8 minutes and something. Like
Yeah,
a load
yeah.
of them, a load of them. It's like they won't go to 9. So they're best songs for me as well, you know. So yeah, thought I'd just get that in there. I don't know if there is any Metallica songs over 9. Jam's nodding.
Yeah.
Perhaps I've ruined it, but there you go. Thanks for that anyway, Dom. So
All right.
good, great choice. Jam, what you got?
Okay, this will be no surprise to probably a couple of you, and I had it in my all killer list, I believe, and it's a band you wouldn't expect to have a long song, and that is James Dixon from Ritual del Habitual from 1990, and it's the song 3 Days, and it's 10 minutes, 49 seconds of brilliance. Great start to the song, slow intro, bass intro, it just builds up, and it's just a story that Perry's singing, and the brilliant guitar work from Dave Navarro and the other one, can't remember his name. Just builds up to a great epic song. All these songs are going to be epic, let's face it. Yeah, obviously proggy, like all these are going to be. They're going to have lots of different passages, lots of different time things. It's just a great song. If you never thought that James Addiction had just sort of been caught stealing, then check. I mean, the whole album is fantastic, but this is just the peak of it. And seeing him play it live as well, which is great to see. So there you go. 3 Days by James Addiction.
Cool. Thanks, mate. Very cool indeed. Right, what you got, Mark?
Well, let me start by saying when I first started doing this, there were several that I had in my mind that we talked about this earlier. In my mind, I thought they've got to be at least 9 minutes because they're so epic. But when I actually went and listened to them, looked at the running length, they weren't that long. So to me, a long song has got to be epic in some way. I mean, Warrant could probably have done a 10-minute version of Cherry Pie, but in what universe would that ever be epic? By the same token, there's a lot of epic songs that just really aren't that long. Master of Puppets, Striper, Yahweh, Black Sabbath, Anno Monday, Rainbow Stargazer. I mean, those are all epic songs, but they're not that long. Anyway, just wanted to get that out.
Or if you're Rainbow, you could just make any song live 20 minutes long, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Just add a long jam session to it and you're there.
There you go. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to get the longest one out of the way, the 800-pound elephant in the room, or actually 800-pound gorilla. Iced Earth, Gettysburg, 1863, excuse me. Comes in at 31 minutes and 59 seconds. It's actually 3 songs in one. It's in 3 parts, but you can't have one without the other.
Now on the CD, can you skip between the songs, or is it all 30-something minutes long?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. But maybe I'm cheating here, but I'm going for it. Anyway, the 3 parts of the song each represent one of the 3 days of the Battle of Gettysburg. I forgot to mention this one's sung by Tim Ripper Owens, who was the singer at that time. They originally recorded demos with Matt Barlow, but for some reason it didn't work out with him. So he went on his way and they brought in Tim Owens. And he just did an incredible job on it. Anyway, they brought in the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra on this, and it's just absolutely mind-blowing. Tim Owens takes on different voices in the song as he's singing the parts of General Lee and General Longstreet. And they have all these effects. You can hear cannonballs whizzing by your head. I mean, you actually feel like you're in the heat of the battle. It's just a masterpiece. I actually read an account of a history teacher who actually played this song in his history class when they were studying the Civil War. And I just thought that had to be the coolest history teacher in history. But anyway, that's my first one.
It is a brilliant song, or songs, whatever you want to say. But it's yeah, that is one of the most captivating songs, long songs I've ever heard. Absolutely superb song.
And it really doesn't seem like it's that long when you sit down and listen to them start about. I mean, in 31 minutes, but it really doesn't seem like it's that long, but it is.
Can I just say that they didn't let me have that song? Well, I tried to use that song in All Killer, and they stopped me because I think I tried to say, because it was on its own disc, it was track 1, and they wouldn't let me have it. So, but we'll let you, Mark, because we like you more than they like me. So, excellent song, absolutely brilliant. Probably the most epic one, more epic than anything I've got, probably, to tell you the truth. We did have a conversation about that song though, who was going to have it, and I said, Mark, you can have whatever Ice Surf song.
Oh, you've already
Oh, cool.
There's several to pick from. So
yeah, there's loads. So anyway, so I'm going. This one's probably the most famous one on my list. I just didn't think anyone would have it because it's sort of almost obvious, if you like. I didn't actually know how long it was. I knew it was a long song, but I only found out a couple of days ago that it's actually passes the rules, Jam's rules, if you like. At 9:08, 1973, the oldest song on my list. What do you reckon it is?
Don't know. I didn't know you liked any music from 1973.
yeah.
Freebird.
I was going to say Freebird. Yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
wow.
Yeah. One of the most overplayed songs probably ever. But it's such a classic, man. I mean, I just love it. It's just, I mean, it's a bit an unusual sounding song as well. It doesn't sound like much anything else that Skinner done, really. But just love it. Obviously, the live version's about 13 minutes long, I think, but just a brilliant. And then you get a single version, I think, that they cut the guitar solo off, which is like the best bit. But it just builds up, doesn't it? It's just a great, even though it doesn't really sound Southern as such, it's just from just a classic band. And that's one that I thought I would choose. That's, do you know what I mean? Like everyone knows, but it's just brilliant. I love Freebird. I'll never get enough of it.
Great song.
My brother's favourite song, my brother's favourite band, my brother Lewis. So there you go. Freebird. Debut album 1973.
Here in the South, you can turn any radio station on at any time of day, and Freebird's probably playing.
As long, just wiping your rifle on your doorstep, listening to Freebird. Anyway, right, okay.
And you don't have to lock that door, God.
Exactly. Well, you do now. You never used to have to. You never
used to. Sorry.
No, exactly. Anyway, excellent choice by me, I do believe. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah. Right, round the houses again. What you got, Dom, for your second choice?
My second choice, I am going for something fairly new. 2005, so not new, but not old, kind of mid. This is crazy. This is a band / project called Frameshift. The name of the album is An Absence of Empathy, and the name of the song is Blade. This is just a project, one of those guys kind of like Tobias who does Avantasia. This guy only has 2 albums under this name. His name's Henning Pauly. The first album had James Labrie from Dream Theater doing most of the vocals. But the crazy thing about this is it's definitely progressive metal. Like sometimes I kind of shy away from that term, but this is definitely progressive metal. Like there's lots of twists and turns and riffs and stuff. But the vocalist is Sebastian Bach.
What?
And he sounds incredible on this. It's so cool to hear his voice fronting a progressive metal album, because it still hits, I mean, it still sounds great, and it's just completely opposite to what you're used to hearing. So it's really cool, lots of twists and turns like most prog metal albums have, but this track is great. Again, it doesn't really seem like it's that long because it just goes on, and there's a choir at one point, and it gets a bit symphonic at one point, and It's really great. Yeah. So Frameshift, kind of a
Wow.
left field choice, but certainly one that I don't read about or anything. And I don't think a lot of people, unless you're a huge hardcore Sebastian Bach fan, would know that he was singing on this, but he is, and it's
Well, that's something I didn't know. There you go.
I'll
Sebastian Bach on a
send
progressive
you the
metal
link
album.
after.
Yeah,
Yeah, great.
I like that. That's cool. That is very cool indeed. Cheers, mate. What's your next one then, Jan?
Okay, another one you probably think I was probably going to pick, but probably the last year probably wouldn't get the other ones. And this is Halloween by Halloween from Keep of the Seven Keys, Part 1, 1987, racking in at 13 minutes 20. What can I say about this song that I haven't already said about a million times? It's fantastic. Probably the second longest song I heard, if you know what I mean. I heard a longer song first, which we probably talk about at some point, possibly. This is the second time I heard a long song, and it's just one of them songs I knew all the words, all the bits, all the twists and turns when I was a kid. Played it over and over again. I mean, I like the poppy stuff on the Halloween albums, but this song was just brilliant. The production's not great on it. If you listen back to it now, it does sound a bit tinny and stuff, but everything did in them days. But the actual song is brilliant. I think it'd be really good if they re-recorded it, perhaps in modern recordings, but because obviously Michael's back now. But yeah, it's got all the twists and turns. It's a classic Halloween song. They did play it on the Pumpkins United tour, not this year when I saw them, but the first time they united. So that was really good to hear that back to back with the other one, Keep of the Seven Keys, of course, which is their other long song. I'm sure no one's got that, so but if they have, then tough. There you go.
Yeah, that is one brilliant, probably my favourite song of Halloween as well. Just amazing. Like you said, their darker side, if you like, their less happy side. We won't
it's not.
We won't say the
Serious.
other word. We won't say the other word. We just say happy. All right.
We will. Yeah.
No, excellent song, mate. Brilliant choice. That was in my list, and then I thought, Jam's going to add that, so I left it off.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great song. Right, what you got there, Mark?
And I'm going back to the Godfathers, Black Sabbath from Sabotage, 1975, Megalomania. I think this is the longest song in the Sabbath catalog. Comes in at
I had a long song.
Yeah. Comes in 9 minutes 42 seconds. It's basically about a delusional schizophreniac who's wrestling with the voices in his head.
Ozzy.
Yeah, now that you brought him up, Ozzy, nobody else could sing this song. As much as I enjoyed hearing Dio's interpretations of songs, Tony Martin interpretations of songs, nobody other than Ozzy could have ever sang this song. I mean, he did a masterful job especially on the live version that's on past lives. He actually changes his voice to fit the verses that he's singing. One is singing first person, the other is the voices in his head that he's fighting against, and he really put his heart and soul into that one. To me, that when I think of this song, Edgar Allan Poe made a quote. He said, "I became insane with long intervals of horrible sanity," and that's what I hear when I hear this song. That's what brings to mind, because Ozzy he's wrestling with the voices in his head. Some verses are sang from the good side, some from the bad side, and it's just a incredible song that takes you on a journey. It's got all those twists and turns like Dom's talking about, and it's just a kind of out of character for Sabbath to be that long, because they really did. Most of their songs were shorter, but that was a fairly progressive album, I guess. That's when they started kind of changing a little bit anyway, and trying to broaden their horizon, so to speak. But yeah, just great songs. Love that one.
A couple of things when we spoke about this before about Ozzy wasn't my favorite Sabbath vocalist, but it's like some of the songs he's like Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could never have anyone even attempting that. I don't even think they attempted it live with him. Because it was like, but you know what I mean? You wouldn't have anyone apart from Ozzy singing that either. I tried to rank through.
They actually did have Tony Martin sing it on the Cross Purposes tour. He did okay on it, but again, that type of song is just so, it needs that banshee wail voice from Ozzy. Nobody else I don't care how good a singer you are, you can't make that song resonate with anybody else's voice.
No.
And even though I knew the truth about Sabbath songs with Dio, I tried to find one that was over 9 minutes. I just fucking I knew the truth, but I still was looking just in case. But no, great choice, mate. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to get my Iced Earth one out of the way now then. So I think I've mentioned this a few times. It might have made All Killer. It's probably made my favourite Iced Earth songs that I did with Mark. So a few times I've mentioned it. It's evil, this song. It's Damien.
Yeah.
There you go. So I didn't actually think it was that long until I looked it up. And I was really happy to say it's 9 minutes and 11 seconds long. So the sixth album called Horror Show, that was just basically a concept album. Each song was about like a 1950s, horror film. Like there was a Dracula song, and there was a Frankenstein song, and there was a blah blah blah. Earlier than 1950s, sorry. Sort of films you watch, Dom, on your own at night. Well,
Yeah.
well, they're not the ones later that you watch. The ones after them ones, not them ones.
The ones that I advertise. Yeah.
Yes, the ones you advertise. Yeah, them ones. But it's evil, isn't it? I mean, Mark knows this song. It's an evil song. It's got the choirs, obviously. Just shits you up listening to it. Really, it's got quotes out of.
Oh wow, I haven't heard that in a long time.
It does. It shits you up. It does.
Has it got scary trees on it?
No, but the album cover I find a bit silly. Actually, it could have been quite scary, but it's like each monster on the cover, a big horror house. It looks a bit jokey. But this actual song, I mean, it's taking quotes out of the book, I suppose, or the films, and it's a little bit. So
this is the Omen, I assume.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
This is the Omen, I assume.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, the Omen, Damien. So I think it was about some of the quotes are out of. I remember some quotes out of the third film and the first film. So it was like stretching across from a kid to an adult. And when I was a kid, I was talking about this last night actually. Sarah's daughter asked me what horror film have I ever been really scared by a horror film. I said I was when I was younger, but this was probably the one. Omen was probably the one. The nanny off the building and all
all
that.
for you, Damien. It's all for you.
I mean, it's just like ears and eyes and everything, But no, it's a brilliant song. Really captured excellently with some excellent screams and blood-curdling screams from Matt Barlow as well, all the way through it. Just excellent song. There you go. Iced Earth, Damien. That's my Iced Earth one.
There's something about those horror films with the religious
For sure.
undertones that
Exorcist.
they definitely they do shit you up, as you would say, more than like a slasher film. I mean, they're just blood, guts, and gore, but the ones on based on religious subjects are just they get in your head. Yeah, I totally agree with you there.
Definitely. Not so much now. I mean, there's some they attempt it now, don't they? But it's never the same.
Yeah.
It's just your age, isn't it? When you're younger and you're watching that stuff, it just Dom's like, I'm hardened. I don't give a shit what it is. So anyway,
I wish I wasn't so jaded I could get scared by movies.
I don't anymore. I don't anymore, to see the truth. It's just like, every horror film now is just I don't know, it just doesn't do that what it's meant to do to me anymore. But still, there you go. Right, we're at round three. Dom, what you got?
Round three, yeah. Okay, let's see, what should I do? Okay, 1989, from the album Blessing in Disguise. This is Metal Church and Anthem to the Estranged. Their third album. I think I've mentioned this before. This is my favorite period of Metal Church with Mike Howe. They did Blessing in Disguise, and then the next one was The Human Factor. Was really into Metal Church around this time. And this is a great epic thrash song, really. Does have slower bits, obviously, but when it kicks in, it's great. Mike Howe's a great singer. Rest in peace. Yeah. And Blessed in Disguise. Don't know if I like this or Human Factor more, but both of them are really terrific albums. So yeah, Metal Church, there you go, Anthem for the Estranged.
It's almost like they've been on the fringes, isn't it? People love Metal Church, fans love them, but it's like they've been on the fringes of success all the time, haven't they? But never quite got there. Great band though, really cool.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. What have you got in, Jam?
Okay, I've got another one from a band that you wouldn't think have done long songs. You might think they've done slightly long songs, but not a very long song. And this is Guns N' Roses from 1991's Use Your Illusion 1, and it's the song Coma. Definitely their longest song, racking in at 10 minutes, 14 seconds. This is a truly epic song. Starts off with a heartbeat and then goes into really heavy bit. I guess it's got a heavy riff from Slash, and then just goes into a mellow bit, and then builds up towards the end into a great song. It's one of them songs. Probably say this about all of them if you love them. They don't seem as long as they are. When you listen to Coma, it doesn't seem like it's 10 minutes long. It's just sort of a ride. It's the last song on Use Your Illusion 1, I think. And it's great. And I don't think they ever played it on the Use Your Illusion tour, but they just brought it back just for the Once in a Lifetime tour recently. So, and I saw it was on the set list every night. I thought, brilliant. Can't wait to see that, being one of my favourite Guns N' Roses songs. Played it in Ireland when Darren went to see him. Brilliant. Come over to Spurs, didn't they? And they started an hour fucking late and didn't play it. So I was pissed off.
When you go and see
can you imagine Guns N' Roses going on stage?
No, they're very reliable. They're really reliable.
They've been really good recently. Honestly, they've been brilliant. They're coming on stage, no problem. They have done it all tour, but there's problems because it was playing at Spurs Stadium. There's problems at the stadium with the sound, so it wasn't their fault technically, but it still pissed me off. But anyway, there you go. Coma, Guns N' Roses, great song.
That's the trouble, isn't it? When you go and see a band, I'm the same. I start looking at the set list leading up to it and all that, and thinking, oh, they're going to play that, and then they never really play the real one you want to fucking see. They always let you down, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I remember that album though. Lots of long songs in there. How long was this Strange, mate? Do you know?
I think Strange is 9 minutes. I think possibly. I haven't got my list
One
handy.
One of their more popular ones off that, or well-known ones.
Yeah.
Off that long one.
Strange may have been just about there. The Civil War's not quite, doesn't make it, and neither does Don't Cry, or November Rain's not even that long either, I don't think so. I think maybe Strange is the one at the
end where he just goes for like 5 minutes. Is that?
Oh, fucking hell. Vamp's woken up.
I was going to say, it sounded like a cat in heat.
Well, that's Axl Rose for you.
Yeah. Fucking hell, when he started doing it to Miles Kennedy and all. Fucking Slash. Anyway, that's my opinion. Anyway, right, okay. Great choice though, Jeff. Bit of Guns N' Roses. See, I didn't think anyone would have Guns N' Roses on the list, in the long epic songs list. So that's quite cool. Mark, what you got, mate?
Let's see here. I'm going to go to the Mighty Judas Priest. I'm going to sound like a Tim Owen fanboy today because I got two Tim Owen songs, but from Regulator, 1997.
Not Loch Ness then. Not Loch Ness.
Cathedral Spires comes in at basically 9 minutes on the nose. Basically about surviving the aftermath of nuclear war. Just a very doomy song to close the album with. Tim, I really like his voice. I don't have anything against the original Priest, but I'm kind of like Lee. Halford's voice never really registered with me. I like, some of the songs I really like, but when Tim came in, I really started to pay attention a little more just because it was something different. And, that album doesn't get a whole lot of praise these days, but I really do like it. That's a great, very long, epic type song.
I think with them albums that he was on, I think they were all right. I think it was just a lot of people with them albums have got a problem, not only with Tim Ripper Owens. I think they just went for this sort of there's not many hooks, was there? It was like more like it was
definitely
a flashy sort of album.
You definitely weren't going to hear anything like Breaking the Law or Living After Midnight or Turbo Lover or anything like that from the Ripper era. But
no.
It was kind of the times though. The 90s, they were a little different as far as, you had the not that this was an industrial album, but definitely had more of a crunch to it, kind of a chug to the riffs. Not
A
real.
bit like X Factor and Virtual 11 from Maiden. You know, if Bruce Dickinson had sang those albums, they still wouldn't be very good. It's just the time and the music wasn't great. Same thing, isn't it? It's just a bit unfortunate.
Agreed. I mean, they weren't that brilliant leading up to that. And albums either, were they? Ryan Maiden.
No, they weren't, no.
You took a chance there, though, Mark, talking about Rob Halford like that.
Yeah. Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Game on.
Last time I said something, I must have something personal against him. I got told. So there you go. Can't not like him. Anyway, here you go. So great choice, though, Mark. Excellent. Well, I'm going to get on to some newer stuff now. So I've done a couple of older ones. These are all new now. The first one's from last year, and the last two are from this year. Trying to be like a twat, trying to be different. This is a band that brought out a great album last year. A band called Hitten, from Spain, actually, and they're classed as a glam metal band. Well, I don't know about that, but they're quite metal. They're really melodic. So they brought this song out. So someone suggested a song to me called Triumph from Tragedy last year, and I reacted to it and I loved it. It was sort of 6 minutes long. It was brilliant as it was. And then when the album came out, they had the full length version, which was 11 minutes and 11 seconds long.
Wow.
And it is really good. It's just heavy, technical, really clever, progressive, obviously, because it's like over 11 minutes long. Loads of twists and turns in it. Amazing guitaring. Is a word. Is a word. All right.
We're gonna have to get Boogie in here somewhere, and
Again, all the sayings out today.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they brought out an excellent album, and all the other songs were quite, really catchy and sort of 3.5, 4 minutes long. And then they just banged this one on the end that it's just so epic. I know we're always saying that word, but it's brilliant. Check the band out. Hitten. I think you'd all probably like it because it's quite heavy. It's got that sort of slight touch of glam as well that Dom might like. So yeah, really cool. Hitten, Triumph from Tragedy. It's the title track and it's the last song on the album. There you go.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Down to Dom.
Did you say that was this year or last year?
That one was last year.
Yeah, because you had the album on your top 50 or something, yeah?
Yeah.
I remember you talking about it. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Great album. Yeah. Okay.
So I'll stay fairly current. This is, this is 2006, so not that current. But it's a band I've really come to like in the last few years. I didn't really catch them at the time, but I listen to them a lot now. They're called 10. They are an English band. Really like their stuff. He's got a melodic voice, but the music can get pretty heavy. They are a band that probably could be put in all sorts of categories: power metal, symphonic, AOR, metal.
Yeah.
They do a lot of different stuff. Obviously, they do long songs as well, because I picked one. The name of the song is Hallowed Ground, and the name of the album is The Twilight Chronicles. They've got a shitload of albums. I think they must be at least up to 10, maybe even more than that. 10 albums by 10.
Got one out this year. This year was one of them, wasn't it? Or was it last year?
I think there was one last year, but yeah, they're on Frontiers now. So that's the one thing about 10 is that the first few albums, even though the songwriting is good and stuff, the production, you can really tell that they didn't have any sort of like label bugs behind them, but now they just sound brilliant. They just at full and the way they always should have sounded with the kind of songs that he writes. But yeah, if you haven't heard 10, man, they're a terrific band. A bit prog, maybe prog, but not prog metal it's all song oriented. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, Hallowed Ground from the Twilight Chronicles.
Very cool. As long as you can go like that, then it's not too proggy. Do you know what I mean? So when you start going, like you look like you fucking having some sort of fit.
From all the different, yeah, exactly. And that's a great example. Yeah.
Great choice, mate. What you got then, Jan?
Okay, I've got a band that I talk about all the time. I'm going to have something off this. When you think of long bands, bands who do long songs, you always think of these, and that's the Ramones. doing. Sorry. No, it's Opeth doing what they do best. I'm going to pick something off this one, actually, the latest one for me, which is 2001. So that's how old-fashioned I am. From the Blackwater Park album, but it's not Blackwater Park. It's the song "Drapery Falls," which is fantastic. Acoustic opening, very grand. About 2.5 minutes before the singing starts. It's just got it's got some it's got some clean vocals in there, which is brilliantly sung by Michael. And then he goes a bit harsh vocals later, which some of you guys wouldn't like, but it's just an excellent song. It's got loads of changes, and it's just a great song. I mean, Opeth has done so many long songs. The title track is fantastic for this. Deliverance, the more, there was about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 songs I could have picked, but this is definitely my favourite, and it comes in at 10 minutes 54, Drapery Falls. There you go.
Perfect for this sort of show. Do you know what I mean? Just like, yeah. Good choice, mate. Excellent. What you got there, Mark?
Okay, I had to throw some Iron Maiden in here. I'm shocked that none of y'all have brought one in yet, and I decided to go with one that I knew none of you would pick.
Oh, right, okay.
Jam just kind of stole my thunder there. X Factor, Sign of the Cross, comes in at 11 minutes and 17 seconds. I like it because it's very dark, almost Sabbathy, and I thought it was kind of a bold move to introduce Blaze Bayley with an 11-minute song. I mean, right out of the gate, the first song on the album is 11 minutes. I know this is not a same thing like I said about Jugulator. It's not a popular album. It's dismissed by a lot of fans, but I actually like that album, and I love that song. That's my favorite song on the album. It's based on a book by the name of the Rose, which that's a line in the song, written by Steve Harris, and basically about torture and punishment of the heretics during the Catholic Inquisition back in the Middle Ages. And I'll give all credit to Bruce. Bruce actually sings this song live. His higher register voice, I don't think fits it as well as Blaze, but I think a lot of credit should go to him for even considering doing songs from the Blaze era, because most of the time when a classic singer leaves, somebody else comes in, and then that guy comes back, he won't touch anybody else's material. I mean, Dio would have never sang a Tony Martin song. Vince Neil would never sing a John Corabi song. Rob Halford's never sang a Tim Ripper Owens song. So I give all credit to Bruce for singing this, and then he does the Klansman from the Virtual Weapon, which I didn't think was as good an album. But anyway, I really do like Sign of the Cross. It's like I said, kind of Sabbathy, which is I guess why it registered with me, but may not be a real popular one, but it's long enough to go on this list.
I think when you hear Bruce singing that, I think you realise how much that music ain't too far removed from what they do now. Is it really? It's got the same sort of structure to the song, that sort of.
Yeah. And all those songs are 11 minutes now.
If you're lucky. Great choice though, mate. He's probably the best song as well. I agree with you. The best song off the album. I haven't heard the album that much, but that's the one that stands out to me for sure.
Yeah.
Great choice. Okay. My fourth choice. So I'm going this year now. My last two are from this year. The first one is from a band I do go bang on about a lot, but a great band called Soraya Sign. For me, one of the albums of the year at the moment. It's the album's called Throne of Gold, and the song's called Throne of Gold as well. It's the last track on the album, of course it is. It's the most epic. It's 9 minutes and 22 seconds long. Does loads of stuff, this song. It's just ridiculous. It's a concept album, Throne of Gold. They're making 3 of them, by the way. So might be 4. I think it's 3 or 4. This is the first of it. So it's a really cool story, actually. Speaking to it's the drummer. He's the the leader of the band, if you like. So he's had this concept since he was like 16, 17, 18. Like he wrote a concept, and now he's managed to get a deal, and now he's actually making it reality as a concept album. And it's the whole album is just brilliant. Almost sounds a little bit, they're Swedish, by the way, of course. Almost sounds like the Alan Londe sort of projects, you know, the stuff there. It's all really epic, little bit symphonic at times, not too much. Progressive, obviously, always catchy, galloping in parts of it. It's just a brilliant song if you love that sort of melodic metal, you know what I mean, epic sort of stuff. The Throne of Gold from Soraya Sign, I've actually got I'm gutted because I could have done a mark. I've got the fucking CD downstairs, so I could have you know, I was going to stop the video. I was going to stop the video and get it, but I have got the album as well from the band. They sent me it, so it's an amazing album. It really is. I remember when I first got, because I get loads of stuff sent to me, and I remember I got this sent on an email, which somehow got hold of my email when he sent to me. He goes, have a listen, and I just didn't have time. It was so much music going on, and I thought, oh yeah, I will get to it. And then I just can't believe how good the band are. They just sound huge, like, and you think this is an unknown band. What's going on? What is going on with the world? But there's just so much music in it. You know, that's what it is. But yeah, a great band, Soraya Sign. I think you'd like them as well, Mark. Sure. So, Throne of Gold. There you go. Cool. Listen to them first, though. Don't just buy it. All right, just listen. Don't spend that money until you've listened. But I think you'd like it. There you go. You don't know, dear. Some things just don't click with some people, do they? But there you go. Soraya Sign, Throne of Gold. We're up to round 5, guys.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Round 5, I'm going to a very famous band. This is the oldest one on my list from 1976. This is Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
This is Achilles' Last Stand from the album Presence. Opening track. Ironically, it's my least favorite Led Zeppelin album, but one of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs. So take that what you will. This is definitely them at their most, I don't know how to put this because I love the song, but it's a bit self-indulgent, but I do love it. And I listen to it all the time. So, you know, I mean, I like it, but you know, it's I think it's their longest song maybe. And it opens the album, and you know, you could tell that they were just on top of the world and they could do pretty much whatever they fucking wanted to, and nobody was going to say anything. So yeah, but it's a great tune. Lots of you know, the bit of a immigrant song in there with his vocals, and yeah, great riff, great guitar work. Achilles' Last Stand, Led Zeppelin. Most of you out there.
Talk about self-indulgent. Has no one chose a Tool song yet? They're very self-indulgent. I shouldn't say that either because there's Tool fans out there. You
just screwed yourself. Yeah.
Tool fans are like mental, aren't they? You can't say anything about Tool at all. But
that's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, veering off subject. Great Led Zeppelin. I must admit though, I've got the oldest song yet. I just want to point that out. All right.
Okay. Good.
And you didn't think I would have, did you? You didn't think I would have?
I did not.
There you go. All right, Jam, what you got, mate?
Okay, I've switched one out. I'm going to go for this instead because
it's older than mine. Because it's older than mine.
No. It's newer. 2015.
Okay.
2015. Wow. So new for me. It's someone I wouldn't normally. It's actually probably going to be a mole killer. So there's a spoiler alert for you. But it's Stephen Wilson from Porcupine Tree for doing his album "Hand Cannot Raise." And it's a song called 5 Years Older. Great song, 10 minutes 17 long. I thought Don would know it. Yeah, it's. I wouldn't claim to be a massive thing. I've only got this album. In fact, it's the only one I've got. I know he's done loads of stuff, but I just don't. As you know, we have time to listen to everything. This song is fantastic. It's got a bit of a fast intro, twists and turns as you expect. 5 minutes before the vocals even come in. But he's a great singer. And it's just got so many. It's going to be proggy, isn't it? It's got so many different bits to it, and then it builds up into it goes quite heavy towards the end. It's got that great sound. I love the sound when they move the hand over the fretboard and you just hear that scraping. I love that sort of sound. That's in a lot. Opeth do a lot of that as well. Not surprising, obviously. Steve Wilson produced a lot of Opeth albums, or a few.
You mean
Opeth
actually
albums.
hearing the fingers go down the frets?
Yeah,
that sort
yeah,
of
the
thing?
fretboard. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I love that. I know. I mean, the only example I can think of that, it's not like this sort of song, but is I always think of it is Scorpions, Make It Real. You can when it's a chuggy song and you can just hear the hands going up and sliding
great,
down the strings. I love it. Absolutely love it.
So this is great. I mean, you guys, if you haven't heard it, you'd like it. Obviously, it's not heavy. This is sort of rock, if you like. But yeah, 5 years old, Stephen Wilson. So I swapped it out because we've talked a bit Maiden, but I'll probably talk a bit more in a minute. So
yeah, same. There you go. Brilliant, mate. Excellent. Okay, Mark. Have you gone? Have you trolled your mind back to before 1973 now? Haven't you? Tell me you have.
No, I don't have anything that old. But I think Dom will approve of this one. Witchcraft.
Oh yeah,
the Swedish.
I was thinking about that, but I thought, you made that great comment on the video. I thought he might have a Witchcraft song, so I'll leave it.
Swedish doom band. This album's called Legend from 2012, and the song is called Dead End. Comes in at 12 minutes and 10 seconds long. They're kind of a throwback 70s kind of vibe to this band. Kind of sound like Sabbath meets the Doors, maybe. But it's just a very hypnotic song. I don't know how else to describe it. Dom knows the song, obviously.
Yeah.
They just, like I said, they have a very throwback sound, but I really enjoy them a lot. This album, from start to finish, I enjoyed. I didn't care for the follow-up as much, but anyway.
Yeah, it's really hard to describe. I mean, when you say doom, it sounds like it's not going to be, like the songs aren't very important. It's just going to be all about riffs. But with Witchcraft, no, it's all about. It's really accessible. I mean, it's really like it's like accessible 70s classic rock, not like riffing with your head down for 10 minutes. It's really great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not like Cathedral or some of those.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Candlemass.
Yeah, Candlemass, good example. But they have that slow, plodding, Sabbathy vibe to it. A lot of bass. And just, great album.
I suppose it's quite fucking hard for a doom band to do a short song, isn't it? With those riffs. What about Candlemass? They've got a new song out. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
there you go.
Good.
It's really good. Great one, mate. Bit of doom. Excellent choice. So my last one, and I've got something to show. It's my T-shirt. There you go. This band, Saints and Sinners, sound like they would be a lot of White Snake tribute band or something, but they're actually not. They're along the same lines of Soraya Sign, I suppose. They're like a melodic metal band. They bought an album out this year again called Rise of the Alchemist, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. This song's actually 13 minutes and 38 seconds long.
Wow.
Yeah, and we have spoken already loads of times about songs not feeling the length that they are. This is definitely one of them. It literally, I don't know, it flies by. It feels like it's about 6 or 7 minutes long. Starts with an almost like folky sort of feel, like that sort of feel, and then it's they sort of got some Maiden influence, I would say. Throughout the album, they've got some Halloween influence as well, but on the dark side of that sort of music. There's a part in the middle that it dies down completely. It's like a film score. Do you know what I mean? Lasts for about a minute, then it goes back in. It's just probably the most twist and turn sort of song on the whole of my list. It is absolutely brilliant and it really catchy as well, which is, the chorus is just really infectious. So a very cool band, very cool song, very cool T-shirt as well. Like my T-shirt, yeah? Fancy like that? Thank you very much. Colourful, isn't it?
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my 5, guys.
Cool. Good list.
We've got some honourable mentions. Dom, got any?
Well, I mean, we could go on and on with my initials is like 20 songs. So the only one I'm going to mention though is because I left it off the list because I've talked about it. at least once, maybe twice or three times. Possibly my favorite song of all time is called Sky Babies from the Wild Hearts.
Yeah.
I even made Lou listen to it on his trip to Morrison's. It really is just about 15 riffs that other bands would kill for in one song. It really is probably my favorite song of all time. So I didn't put it in the actual list just because I've went on and on about it. So, but I will save it for an honorable mention, because if anybody out there hasn't heard it, Sky Babies by the Wild Hearts. If you ever want to know what Dominic McCauley really loves,
That's it. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So I'll keep it then.
Yeah. There was lots to like about that song that I liked as well, by the way. As I told you, didn't
Excellent.
I? But yeah, you do go on about the Wild Hearts a little bit too much, mate, I must admit.
Oh yeah. Not like you know. You all have different names on your lists all the time.
No female singers in any of these lists, I did notice.
And no yarn either.
Jam banned us. He said, I wanted to include a female singer. Jam told me not to. So sorry about that.
Right. Yeah, right.
Well, Jam, I bet you got some oral mentions, didn't you?
I've got lots to talk about, but as quick as I can. We've got to talk about the elephant in the room at Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. Not made anybody's list, but I think we all thought someone was going to pick it, perhaps.
Yeah,
but I mean, we all know.
exactly what I thought.
I mean, I just want to say to my favourite long maiden songs, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, obviously, but I had Sign of the Cross as one of them. I love that song. I think it's great.
Cool.
Seventh Son of a Seventh Son is a great song, and Empire of the Clouds I really like, which is very different for them, but I really like that. So that's maiden. A few heavy rock metal ones, probably Child in Time, Deep Purple would have beat yours, 1970. That's a great song. Last Exit for the Lost from Nephilim, probably don't know that. And Justice for All, that's the long Metallica song, 946. Sky Babies, obviously, I thought Don would mention that in his main list. And then Released by Pearl Jam from the 10 album, last song on the album, 9 minutes. And then just some rock ones. Mike Oldfield, don't know if you know any stuff apart from Tubular Bells, but the title track to Platinum and Crisis are absolutely fantastic songs, really long. The End by the Doors, brilliant. Telegraph Road, Dire Straits, and obviously Pink Floyd, Shine on Your Crazy Diamond. There you go.
Very cool. You about covered nearly everything I had. No, you haven't actually. I've got a few more still until Mark has his go. All right, what you got there, Mark?
All right, I'll go back to Iced Earth from Incorruptible, Clear the Way. Came in at 9 minutes, 40 seconds.
All right, cross that one off.
It's about the Irish that came over and fought in the American Civil War. Also, Iced Earth, Dante's Inferno, 16 minutes and 30 seconds. The one that I originally wanted to talk about, but was 7 seconds shy of 9 minutes, was Black Sabbath, God is Dead. Coming in at 8 minutes, 53. Let's see here. Symphony X, When All Is Lost, 9 minutes, 10 seconds. Love that band. Tony Iommi and Glenn Hughes from the Fused album, I Go Insane. That was from 2005, 9 minutes, 12 seconds. Great. Kind of a ballad with teeth. I got Sorcerer, Unbearable Sorrow, 9 minutes, 55 seconds. Doomy song. And then Witherfall, song called Vintage, 11 minutes, 19 seconds. Tribute to their original drummer who passed away of cancer.
Done?
Cool.
Yeah.
Great, some great choices there. I've crossed off a load. I do want to talk about Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner quickly, though, even though we've mentioned that, because I think someone said it was like almost the first, even though we had prog, didn't we, in the 70s and 30-minute songs. I think that was the first song, wasn't it? And it was all, I remember watching it on Live After Death and Bruce announcing, about how long it was, and it was almost a one-off, wasn't it? Well, we thought it was.
Yeah,
and then that was the song.
Yeah.
I think that was the song that really
Who
started.
knew they were going to base their entire career off of it?
Yeah, exactly. And then every song there is at least 10 minutes long. But what a great song! With that could be my favourite song on the whole list. You know what I mean? It's just brilliant. Yeah. We didn't speak much about Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2, although Jam did mention it. It's nowhere near as good as Halloween, is it? Just nothing. but he's still good. He's still good, but after bringing that out the year before, wherever it was, no chance. So Becoming Cursed was the only one I wanted to mention off Iced Earth. Mark, you didn't mention. Of course, Something Wicked This Way Comes, Dom.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, isn't one of the Something
mentioned.
Wicked This Way Comes?
Well, it's off of that,
Gonna
so
be
I've got
over
it
9 minutes long.
Yes, I got it in, but that's a great song. Absolutely brilliant song. Queensryche.
Sweet
Really?
Sister Mary, right?
So there's not that many. Sweet Sister
Yeah.
Mary, definitely. I mean, for me, that I love the song. I love the album as a whole. Probably not one of my favorite songs from Queensryche, but excellent fit, obviously fitting in with the story and all that. Just amazing. And Roads to Madness, which is off their debut album, The Warning, which was 9 minutes and 40 seconds long. So I did have another one as well. I was a bit gutted because I wanted to include one from Down. So there's a song from Down called Misfortune Teller.
Yeah.
But it's one of these songs that it sort of cuts. It's one of these bands did weird stuff. They cut the song off like at about 6 minutes and then it's just silent. You know, I'm not going to have that, am I? Because
Hidden track.
it's one of them hidden sort of things. So I thought that's a bit of a cheat, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I didn't have that. But yeah, Iron Maiden. I mean, probably the best long song they brought out lately is off that new one, at Hell on Earth, which is really good. But there's just too much going on with them now with the long songs, I think. Just make it 7 minutes. It's bearable then, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and Metallica, I don't know, I mentioned Metallica. I mean, there's so many songs that I was praying were like 9 minutes. Like Master of Puppets, the album, it's like nearly every song is 8 minutes and something.
I think there's only 3, and one of them is To Live Is to Die from And Justice for All as well, I think. Or what? Yeah, I think the other 2 are instrumental.
Yeah,
the instrumentals, something like that. Yeah, and
Yeah,
Justice for All.
Yeah, some of the best songs, man. Like on Master of Puppets itself. Disposable Heroes, one of my favorite Metallica songs, just under 9 minutes. Just annoying. Just really annoying. Why couldn't they must have known. Do you know what I mean? We was going to one day sit down and talk shit for an hour. You know what I mean? And couldn't get it in. But there you go. Great show, guys. Thank you very much. It was a bit longer than I thought it would be, just like these fucking songs, isn't it? Really? But no, some great choices, some really surprising ones from you. Obviously, we was all trying to avoid. I mean, Rhyming Ancient Mariner was the first song I thought of when I thought of this program. I thought I can't because someone's going to have it, and of course, no one's used it at the end of the day. There you go.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining me as always. It's always great to see you.
Thank you for having
Good
us.
to see you all.
And I've got to say, I mean, I've got a new, my laptop looks a bit clearer today, and I didn't realise how good looking you all were.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Honestly.
nice. Thank you.
That's all right.
Thanks, man.
Anytime. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.